Hey, what is going on YouTube? You're here from MJ Tech. Today coming with another ATOTO in-dash car entertainment system. This one is called the S8 Premium. I got it from Amazon with the Prime service and the price is currently about $389. I am upgrading from my Sony AX3000, which is a very common unit right now in the market. This one comes with wired CarPlay. It doesn't have Android or anything fancy like that, but it does have CarPlay already, and I've been using it now for almost a year, or actually a little bit over a year now. So that's the one I already removed from my Pilot 2007, and I did test it already on a ATOTO head unit, and that's why I'm going with a second one. And at that time it was the ATOTO A6. That was back in 2019, and it was installed on a Toyota Camry 2004. Again, it still works up to this date, so that's very cool. This one here has different features. It's kind of a unique type of head unit. It has a 10.1-inch display. Keep in mind that ATOTO also has the regular S8, which is a 7-inch unit. In case you can't install the 10.1-inch unit, this could block your AC vents, and if that's the case, then you're gonna have to go with the 7-inch one. In my particular case, I got very lucky on the Pilot 2007. The vents are located on the lower side, so this is not blocking it. I already tested it. That's why I had to unbox it and test it before completing this video. But yes, the display also is amazing. For the first time, we get a QLED display with 720p resolution, 10.1 inches. Again, Android 10, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and unbox it here and see what comes inside of the box. So it came very well protected. And inside here, you guys will notice how I already installed the harness for my Pilot 2007. I removed it from the Sony. So it comes with a whole bunch of quick start guide and booklets and warranty information and so on. It comes also with a screen protector, which is very nice. We know that finding screen protectors for this particular radio in the USA could be a little bit challenging. So here we have the actual unit. Now this one here, I've seen some S8s, they come with the physical buttons. This one in particular has the capacitive buttons towards the bottom side of the unit. Again, 10.1-inch display, QLED panel, 720p resolution, and this one also has a 10-point multi-touch screen, which is very cool. And like I said, the unit and the screen is all one piece. I've seen it to where the unit is separate and then the screen kind of connects later, but this one is a little bit different. And well, it makes it just a little bit more challenging to get it inside of the dash, but it's doable. I already checked it, and here it comes with a separate box where inside we're gonna find the accessories that it comes with. So let's go ahead and open it up, and like I said, here I have the harness. Now just keep in mind that this piece right here and this piece, that's for my wireless reverse camera, which I already attached. But the harness is basically these wires that you guys see together right here. It's just from here all the way to here. So these are basic colors. Honestly, I didn't even have to read the instructions. Yellow goes with yellow. Then you got the speakers. And again, all you have to do is just match the colors. And I like to use these self-welding connectors. They work very well and they seal as well. I mean, not that we're gonna need it. This area of the vehicle rarely gets humidity unless you have like a vent leak or something. It can get humid in there, but for the most part it's dry. But yes, I use these, and again, they are self-welding, so it gives you much better bonding with the wires. And so everything is working great. The only wires that were left over is the amp trigger wire. Okay, this is in case you have like a subwoofer or something like that installed. And then we have here some remote wires as well. This is for the steering wheel, and we have a dedicated steering wheel plug as well. So all these don't apply to the Pilot, so I just left it alone. The only one I used was the rear camera plus, and this is for the reverse camera only. And this one has a black and red wire as well, which goes on the black and red wire from here. If you guys look at it, I did a double connection right there for the reverse camera. You can see where these two wires are together, and then they go in here, and the same thing goes for the black wire. You can see it right here. Okay, you can see the black wire being attached to the black wire in the harness, and then it gets connected to the vehicle harness kit. So that's it, guys. Very easy to do, nothing dramatic. Then we get here the GPS antenna. We have the Wi-Fi antenna. We get some brackets, in which some of them are not here because I already used them on the Pilot. You're going to see that here in just a second. We get the USB ports, okay, and some of these are going to work with wire CarPlay, so you have to check and see which one it is. But I already have like a little socket that I like to use, and you're going to see that also in just a second. But yes, this is going to get connected to that USB ports, and then we get the microphone. That's all we get here inside the box. So without further ado, let's jump into the Pilot and see what this is all about. Alrighty, guys, so here we are now inside of the 2007 Pilot. As I said before, I removed that AX3000 head unit, and I've been mocking everything up here just to see how I can come up with installing this radio. The only issue I'm having right now is that, well, I'm using, first of all, the plastic mounting kit that came separately that I had to purchase for the AX3000, and I mounted these metal plates that came here with the ATOTO S8 Premium. And so basically these slide here from the side. I will have to remove this again in order for you guys to see it. As a matter of fact, I can do that right now. Let me just pull it out. And this comes out very easily after several attempts. But anyways, this is the bracket that I'm talking about. It bolts on right here and also right there. And so I attach this bracket to it, but if you look, I can slide it. So what I'm going to do is just slightly loosen up these screws, but at the same time leave them tight enough to where there's friction so that I can slide the radio in and out. So I'll slide the bracket out, bolt it into the side, and then slide it back in. Now here's something that you guys might want to have in mind, is that if you are connecting this USB cable into the radio, of course, and this will be your hub right here. In this particular case, I purchased a lighter style hub, and I've done this before, but this time I installed the bracket. Instead of eliminating the factory one, I just installed it right underneath the factory one, and this is where I connect my iPhone for wired CarPlay. But now if you want to have this feature, you have to use the USB port that says phone link, not the one that says USB storage. That one would not work with wire CarPlay. It has to be the one that says phone link. In this particular case, the wire for this is coming out from here, so it's right here. Okay, so I will plug in this USB cable into this port right here, which again is the one that says phone link, and then of course this will go connected on the back side of the radio. Again, just keep that in mind. Okay, so after making sure that these brackets slide in and out but with friction at the same time, well, then I went ahead and installed here the bezel with the AC vents and make sure that nothing's pinched. So if you guys look here closely, I have the reverse camera connection. We get here this one is the antenna for the GPS. We have the USB hub wire as well. We get the FM AM antenna. We get the microphone, and the microphone, I already had one here connected with the old radio, so I don't need to run the new one that came with the kit. Let's see what else we have. You have here the main harness already connected, and all the wires are just sticking out. So once I bolt in the radio here to the sides, I should be able to just slide it in. But again, you have to make sure that you leave a little bit of friction, that way you know, the radio doesn't slide in and out easily. This is how everything should look like once all the connections are done, and this is in the event that you're not running a subwoofer, then it will go connected back here along with the trigger wire, which is the blue one. But this is what your connection should look like. We got the GPS connection right there, then we have here the USB hub connection, we get the Wi-Fi, the main harness, the reverse camera, and the AM FM antenna connection. And then just make sure that all the wires are nice and tucked in, and now we are ready to mount it. Also keep in mind that this particular unit came with the mic external port right there. We get also an SD card slot and a reset button, and this will be located on the top side of the radio. Alright guys, so everything is coming along quite well. I still need to bolt on the radio here to the side like I said before, and then push it back in. But at this point, I'm just testing everything, making sure everything works as it is supposed to. Alrighty guys, so we got this thing pretty much squared away. If you look here closely from the bottom, the vents were blocked by just a few millimeters, nothing serious. It almost looks like a factory unit. Here from the side, you can see that the buttons are also exposed still, which is the hazard button, and also the airbag warning light still there. From the top, it doesn't stick out too much here from the dashboard. So I would say that at least for me here on the Honda Pilot, it works perfectly, and it looks pretty good as well. And from the side, I could still see some of the silver metal here. What I did is that I applied some electrical black tape, but if you want to get a little fancier, you can go ahead and paint it out with spray paint. That's just an idea in case you don't like that to be exposed from the sides. In this case, I went ahead and added again black electrical tape, and it might not be the best idea out there, but at least for me it's working. And again, all I had to do was leave those brackets from the side a little loose, and that allowed me to push it in once the screws were installed on there. And the ones that I used were these smaller screws that came inside of the accessory box. Okay, it came with a couple of them. It also came with these bigger ones, and these were the ones that I used to attach it to the dash kit from my previous radio, which was the Sony one. So I used that to attach the bracket, and then these to connect the radio to the bracket. So again, everything has worked well. Now it is time for final reassembly, and then we're going to talk about the radio. Well guys, we have here the radio completely set up, and it came out better than I anticipated. The screen is absolutely gorgeous. I'm pretty sure that my camera can really capture the quality of the screen, but this is again that 720p display, and we do have that system Android 10.0. So if you go here into system, we go to about device. Right here we can see that we do have Android 10.0, which is great. It's not the latest. Right now we are about to go into Android 12 for most devices out there, but right now on this particular radio we have again Android 10 with ATOTO. It's called the AICE UI 11.0, as I mentioned earlier, and everything seems to be working quite well. A lot of people don't like this system, so they go with one that they download here from the Play Store. Right now my home's internet is having some issues, so for that reason I'm using my phone's hotspot now here for a little bit, but soon we're gonna have to disconnect it in order to test the wireless CarPlay feature. And yes, I have also the wire CarPlay feature, just because I installed this again USB hub that you can get from Amazon, and all these links will be provided down below. And here I have the wire, so we can do either wired or wireless. And again guys, here I'm just backing out a little bit so that you can see how good it looks. And like I said before, luckily my vents are on the lower position, and they are blocked just by a couple of millimeters. I will have to guess that maybe like 3 or 4 millimeters, but it doesn't interfere with anything, and it doesn't cause humidity here to the radio whatsoever, and I can still feel that AC blowing fine. And also I still have access here to my hazard lights, and I can see the passenger airbag light being off or on. So again, that's very cool. And on this side I don't have any buttons. On the top I don't have any buttons, but now here with this radio we do have now the SD card option as well as the microphone option, which makes it cool. But I did reuse here my microphone that I had on the Sony AX3000, as I mentioned before. So that's something that I didn't have to do. And also I had the wireless backup camera already installed, in which, by the way, it works perfectly well. Let's go ahead and test that here right now. But of course, being wireless, we can understand that it's going to take a little longer than usual for me to get that connection, but everything's working as described, guys. And remember, you can get the 360 camera, the backup camera from ATOTO as well, and this radio has been optimized for it, so that'll give you amazing features as well. So one of the first things we have here is for phone calls. Of course, we can use this without any issues for phone calls, and having that microphone all set up and ready to go. Well, we are all set, so that works as intended. Then we have here the radio station. It might go here into the higher volume, but actually I muted it just so that it didn't go bizarre on me. But yes, this is the radio station, and as you can tell, you have a whole bunch of things that you can do on here. It gives you a little bit more than your standard radio, or at least more than my Sony AX3000. The reason I mentioned that particular radio is now that I'm comparing it to the ATOTO, but it's because, well, that was my previous radio, and again, it did work great, but I was looking for something a little bit better, a little bit more futuristic looking. We know that a lot of cars coming now in 2021, and since about 2019 or 2018, they have this tablet style looking radio, also known as the Tesla style looking radio as well, and they have become popular. So I wanted something to make my car look a little modern. So anyways, let's go ahead and increase the volume here real quick. This is a Spanish radio station.
There's a natural alternative to drugs and surgery.
Also, this thing has a built-in amplifier. For that, you will have to search it on Amazon. You can see on the description all the features that this thing carries. There are just too many for me to mention them here on the video. But yes, this thing will boost your factory speakers. And luckily, my factory speakers are not blown, so they sound pretty okay. And this car came built in also with an amplifier, which keeps working even though I have an aftermarket radio installed. So there we have it for the radio station. The next one we have is the wireless CarPlay and wire CarPlay. But again, I'm using my phone as a hotspot, so I will have to wait for that. For now, let's go ahead and test here the Play Store. This is working great. I was trying to download Netflix, but Netflix is not supported according to the Play Store. We're gonna have to download the APK by going into the browser, downloading one that works, and then I'll log in, and of course we're gonna get it working. It just takes a little bit more time. But yes, this thing is Android, so it supports all those applications, and having the Play Store also makes it a little bit easier for those applications that are already supported. We get here YouTube, and again, I'm using this with my phone's hotspot, and yeah guys, it works great. Let's go ahead and play here a video. Let's say Spider-Man No Way Home. Let's see if that works, and let's just check out here the quality. Let me skip this Walmart ad. Of course, I'm not on my regular account, so it's going to prompt me to a lot of ads. Let's see if I can increase this screen, and there we go.
This is a good one. Some suggest that Parker's powers include the male spider's ability to hypnotize females.
So again, guys,
come on. Yes, my spider.
we can observe that everything is working great. And of course, watching movies wasn't something I could do with my previous stereo system.
Listen,
Let's
I
see.
did not kill Mysterio. The drones did.
The drones that are yours.
Does any part of you feel relieved about all this?
What do you mean?
Now that everybody knows, you don't really have to hide or lie to people.
For the record, I never wanted to lie to you. But how do you tell someone that you're...
Alright guys, you get the idea. YouTube works just fine. If you go here into the app drawer, we have things like easy connection. Also, if you have things connected to the auxiliary ports on the back side of this radio, you can search them right here by clicking on this application called Aux, and it'll of course prompt them on here. Right now I don't have anything, I just have the radio, and that's pretty much it. Also, this thing comes with two Bluetooths built in, so you have 5.0 and 4.0, and that's what we have here when it says BT2. Again, you can pair another device and use them separately, which is really cool in my opinion. And let's go back here. Let's see, we have the car link, in which we're going to test here in just a second. We have the equalizer as well. Right now I have it on rock. You can change it to either the standard, you can go into user mode, which is also known as custom mode, but I like it on rock. I think it gives it that perfect sound that I'm looking for. You also have cinema, you have jazz, hall, pop, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and leave it here on rock. And you have here time correction, and we have bass boost as well. Some of these I haven't used them, but bass boost is in case you have an amplifier. You can of course set it up to whatever settings you want to, which is really cool. We have sound field, and this is the one that I just showed you guys. This is so that in case you want certain speakers to sound, or you want to calibrate that you know, surround sound on your vehicle, you can do that with this application here. And I used it myself just to make sure that all the speakers were working by making sure that only that specific speaker worked, like the front left, the right front, and then so on and so forth, and everything was working fine. And finally, we have bass filter on here. So going back here into the home screen, the next one we have here is HD DVR. This is in case you have one of these dash cams where you can have it now programmed to the radio, and that's really cool as well. So unfortunately, I don't have anything right now. Okay, and then of course we have also navigation. And on navigation, you can set up what application you want to use. In this particular case, I'm using Google, and that is working great. But keep in mind that you have to have internet connection in order for this to work properly. Now here we have things like TPMS. This is for your tire pressure monitoring system. Unfortunately, this vehicle doesn't connect right now to the computer. With certain vehicles, you probably will be able to connect to that. We have torque, and this is like an OBD reader, and again it provides a lot of information. Unfortunately, I don't have this set up yet on this particular vehicle, so maybe we can get like one of those Bluetooth powered OBD readers that communicates with the radio. I can probably get that from this company ATOTO if it does exist. I have seen it on other head units, but unfortunately, again, I don't have it set up right now. If I do get it set up, I'll complete a separate video so that you guys can see it. Let's see what else we have on here. We have things like video, but now this will be read directly from your SD card in case you guys install it. Let's go back here. We have voice search, we get the RCam, and I think this is for the reverse camera. I'm not sure. RCam, it sounds like reverse camera, and it is working so far very well. I don't have any complaints whatsoever. We have a steering wheel control setup as well, but again, all this stuff, we do need that particular connection with the vehicle. Like I said, I don't have it, so all of these things are not working for me. But so the next thing we're going to do here is test the wireless CarPlay, and then we're going to test the wired CarPlay. So for this, you have to disconnect from the Wi-Fi, whether it is the hotspot or your home's Wi-Fi, or wherever you're at. Let's say you're near a McDonald's and you're connected to that Wi-Fi, you have to turn it off, or it will just turn off by itself. So you really don't have to do anything, but I'm just warning you that it will turn off, and it doesn't mean that your radio has any problems. It's just that this is the way this thing connects. So all we have to do first is find the ATOTO Bluetooth, and you have to connect to that. So for this, I'm going to go here into settings, and I'm about to show you that here right now. So let's go into Bluetooth, and right now, if you guys observe, I am connected here to the ATOTO radio, and there's no passwords. All you have to do is that when it appears here on other devices, then you click on it and it'll connect automatically. Once this is completed, now all you have to do is go here into this application, also known as CarLink. If you guys see it right there, so I have it here on my home screen. So you click on it, and here it'll start connecting. So of course, once it detects your phone, it'll ask you here on the iPhone if you want to connect to CarPlay. Since I have it set up, it'll do it automatically. But yes, it'll say you want to connect to CarPlay, and then you click use CarPlay, and that's pretty much all you have to do. And something I like about this particular radio is that having a 10.1-inch display, everything appears a lot bigger, and of course, the bigger, the easier it is to view, and to me, it looks pretty cool. So now for the wired CarPlay, what I did is that I went ahead and disconnected from the Bluetooth in case you don't have it set up wirelessly. Then I'll show you exactly how it will work. So I have killed also all the applications, and by the way, here we can see the RAM that we have is 3 gigabytes, and out of that we have about half of the RAM available, and we don't have any applications on the background right now. So let's go ahead and open the app again, and now here it will just stay on this portion of the connection because we don't have the Bluetooth connected. So here's when we go ahead and connect the phone to the wire, like so. I'm trying to multitask here with one hand. There we go, we just connected it, and now here it'll show up in no time. So let's give it a few seconds, and boom, we now have wired CarPlay. Another cool part about this radio is that it gives you brightness settings. You don't have to go into settings and then display. You don't have to do that. If you look here on the top side of the unit, we have this thing that looks like a light bulb or a sun. If you click on it, it'll change the brightness. and it's right there, so you don't have to go too far to get this thing set up. So of course, if it's nighttime, you might want to have it a little bit dimmed out so that the brightness doesn't bother your eyes. And if it's daylight time like it is right now, you might want to have it on the max brightness, especially today. It's a beautiful day, super sunny outside, so I want to have the brightness increased a little bit. And yeah, it has just a whole bunch of little things like that that are hidden. And here we have the home button, we have the skippers. You also get here very conveniently the volume up and down, which is on the driver's side. Makes it a lot easier. This is a power and mute switch. Some radios don't really power off when you want to turn them off. They just kind of like black out the screen. This one actually does power off, so all you have to do is hold it here for a few seconds and the screen goes completely off, which is very convenient, because sometimes you're not really paying attention to the radio, or you just don't want that distraction, so you can turn it off, especially you know, nighttime on long trips. I like to do that. And you can also turn off the display and keep listening to music on this particular radio, or you can simply turn it off and also mute it, which is really cool. So to mute it, all you have to do is just tap on it and it'll mute. So as you can tell, guys, we have a lot of things we can do on here. Of course, you will have to play with it and get familiarized with it, but it's a very cool little radio that you can do a lot. We know that it has Android 10, so that makes it even cooler, because I have seen some of these units with Android 8 and older, and well, certain things are not going to be compatible. With this being said, I think that now we have here successfully completed the unboxing, the quick installation tutorial, and the review of the ATOTO S8 Premium. If you guys have any questions, you know what to do. Just leave your comments below and I will do my best to respond as soon as possible. Don't forget to like, comment, and share, and also click on the bell icon so that you don't miss future videos like this. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. I'll bring more content very shortly, and I'll see you on my next one.